Hello, this is Tim Patterson, and we're here today to talk about GunCraze. So, what is GunCraze? GunCraze is an action tabletop role playing system that brings players into intense action combat, pushing the boundaries of realism. And what do I mean by pushing the boundaries of realism? Well, anybody that enjoys a good 80s, 90s action movie understands when realism gets pushed a little bit. That character throws a knife through the enemy and pins him through a wall. Could it happen? Maybe. And that's the type of realism we're talking about pushing. GunCraze is a system that uses D10s. Successes in GunCraze are determined by the roll of a 10-sided dice, and they're compared normally to a target number or to an opposed roll, usually from an opponent. GunCraze uses a 2-second round, where characters can either perform a movement and an action, or perform a combination action. GunCraze uses a classless system that offers a large amount of variation of character development. There are literally millions of character customization combinations. Characters are customized by specializations, attributes, perks, talents, skills, and then their weapons and equipment. And we're going to get into all these in different videos. In future videos, we're going to discuss that character creation. We're going to talk about talents. We're going to talk about skills. We're going to talk about the different types of weapons. We're going to talk about craze points. GunCraze is currently in an alpha testing, meaning it's still in development. You can support GunCraze directly by subscribing to our Patreon. For $3 a month, you'll get access to every document that is produced in PDF format. As soon as it's released, you get it. But thank you for your time, and help us fund GunCraze. All right. Hello. Happy Saturday. If you're joining us, I appreciate you. If you catch us later on YouTube, I appreciate you as well. Still getting over the leftovers of this flu, so bear with me in that. That being said, we're going to move right into where we kind of left off yesterday. We're talking about SMG talents for the SMG class, and ensuring that they're all available and lined up and make sense with in Chapter 3 of GunCraze, which is talents. What are talents? Talents are special feats or abilities that your character can do if you purchase the talent, that makes them a little better or allows them to do things that other characters cannot do. All right. So right now we are on my right of this page over here on the side. We have all of our basically our chart of all our table of all the talents for so range combat, handgun talents. So range combat has general talents. It has handgun talents, SMG talents, there'll be rifle talents, shotgun talents, sniper rifle talents, support weapon talents. Huge list. And then once you're done with that section, then there's a melee combat tree that's essentially the same kind of concept. It breaks each section up. So you'll have your melee combats, your melee combat talents, then you'll have your body talents, which are they're down here. I should just scroll on the scroll bar maybe. No. Is a big book. It goes fast. All right, so we have the body talents. We'll have your quickness talents, and then that's where it stops. There's no talents for non-combat. Non-combat all deals with skills, and that's intended that way. So I'm glad to walk you down that trail. All right, so here we go. We're going to get back into, I'm going to scoot back up on this. Get back to my range combat tree just so I can have it here to reference. So usually how I do it, not every time, but usually how I do it is I fill in the table first with an idea that I have, and then from that table I come over here and make it this is the same document, just opened up using two different views, actually three different views. There's a larger view in here. If I need to break something down, I'll jump to this one, but the two views, this helps me do a little bit of work. This border is probably way too big. I could probably get you guys some size. All right. And the goal is to, you guys be able to read it and whatnot. So, hey, if you're following right now or watching, just go ahead and drop a hey. Glad to have you. All right. If you have any questions, want to know anything, I will immediately stop and turn and answer questions. I love talking about this, so I'll be ready for that. All right. So talk about our SMG talents. We've just finished close quarters grip. All right, which allows you, whenever you're adjacent to a defender, you can count your SMG as a handgun for the purposes of melee superiority, which is a great little ability. Melee superiority just makes it so that you can basically blow people away even when they're adjacent to you without them hindering you too much. All right. There is a cross use. You can replace SMG with a light ranged weapon, and that will suffice. Okay, for that close quarters grip. All right, so moving on, we're going to go ahead and add our disruptive spray. All right, so the disruptive spray, the concept of this is, as the SMG user, is to throw so many rounds down range that anybody that does try to go out inside your suppressive fire area is going to get hindered from doing anything useful. All right. So it's called a disruptive spray. It's a talent when you designate your sustained fire area. You say, hey, I want to put out sustained fire in this zone. Okay, why first of all, why would we do sustained fire? All right, or suppressive fire, if you will. All right, so suppressive fire, the concept of it is, hey, if there's a lot of rounds coming in your direction, you don't want to put your head out in the open, all right, unless you have a death wish. So suppressive fire, what it allows you to do is it says, hey, I'm going to go ahead and use the rounds. I'm going to spend this ammo. I can't do anything to stop it. I'm going to spend the ammo, and I'm just going to blanket fire down in this general direction. Now, for SMGs, it can even get bigger. It can be like, right now it's a 45-degree arc, so you fold a piece of paper in half, that whole area. Then it can be a 90 or even up to 180. So when SMGs are all about dropping rounds down range, very ammo-intensive weapons. Okay. So the disruptive spray, the concept is hey, if you are going to come out and you're going to try to do things during my turn, I'm still going to hinder you from doing them. Okay. So the disruptive spray is right off the bat at SMGs 1. You can go ahead and purchase it. So enemies receive a -1 to all attacks while in a suppressive fire area with an SMG. And then the cross use replaces SMGs with ranged weapons capable of automatic fire. All right, so that'll all be available if you spend the extra talent points to unlock it for every other weapon. If you're an SMG user and that's what you're primarily going to use, you don't have to buy the cross use version of it, or you can wait. You can wait till later and be like, you know what, I have a couple extra talent points. I'm just going to go ahead and get for every weapon, and I'm going to take on, light machine gun as well. All right, so disruptive spray. Currently, enemies receive a -1 to all attacks while in a suppressive fire area with an SMG. All right. All right, with an SM. Enemies receive. The wording is not perfect. All right, I'll kind of fine tune that as we go. That's one of the other goals. So what first thing I need to do is, it is going to be cross use. So I'll go ahead and grab a talent that's already made with cross use. I'm going to find its spot, which is going to be after C but before D. I'm going to paste this in. Now I'm not going to do it 3 times because it steps down to disruptive spray improved and disruptive spray mastered. All right, so what I would do is get as close as I can to this and then copy it 2 more times. So I'm going to go ahead and get that disruptive spray. All right, and then its requirements is just SMG1s. SMGs 1. Oh, real. It's really not a thing here. That's interesting. There's always grammar things you have to deal with, okay? I'm sure that there's a million people, there's more than that are better at me than English, all right? So I'll leave them to help me, fine-tune things. Editors cost money. So we'll get where we can, and over time, when GunCraze becomes more popular, hopefully there's some more income. We can get those right editors, those amazing graphic artists, and make the pages even look more stunning and shocking. But for right now, the concept is super low cost entry to a great role-playing system. All right. So I'm excited about that. It's always about low cost entry. You shouldn't have to spend $100 to play a game. All right. It should be very low cost. All right. So disruptive spray. All right. Let's see. You lay down such a torrent of fire during suppressive fire, or get the wording. All right. You know what I generally do is just make this red and come back and get it off stream, because usually I can have more time that I can figure it out. But the concept is fire that enemies find it disorientating. Or hindering. All right. So SMGs 1, it means you have to have rank 1 of SMGs to buy this, which means it's an entry-level talent, which is great. All right. The cost right now is 1 talent point or 2 talent points for cross use. So just like it, I believe it just like it is. Combo talents, we'll go ahead and, so when we're talking about disruptive spray, we're talking about only talents that would benefit automatic fire. All right, so you could do, after I finish all the talents, I have to go back and really kind of carefully go through these after all the talents are finished. But since they're all actually not named yet, I have to do kind of one at a time. I'll come back and hit these up. But 2-weapon fighting is going to be a thing. All right. Let's see. Whenever you are adjacent to a defender, you count your SMG as a handgun for the purpose of melee superiority. All right, that is the old one. Now I have to change it to the new one. All right, so I'm going to grab that disruptive spray. Whenever you fire suppressive fire, whenever you use suppressive fire, any enemies attempting to make a you know what, we'll say make any let's see, attack rolls within that firing arc suffer a -1 -1 talent penalty to their attack rolls. All right, so that's the concept. You just blanket that area. Anybody comes out, they try to do anything, they're getting a -1 penalty off the bat. All right, so think like, oh, -1, not so big. Keep in mind, GunCraze is a D10 system, right? So a -1 is 10%. And if I gave a -2 penalty, I mean, that's a huge penalty for a dice roll. So yes, will they have their own benefits and bonuses coming up? Yes. This is low cost. And interesting. All right. So right now my office is actually in a shed, and I hear like a cat fight going on outside, and I'm slightly concerned. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave with a quick video. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm just gonna run a video, go check, make sure nobody's dying outside. I'll be right back.
Dealing damage in GunCraze. Demonstrated on Wartop, Sanctifier has hit Punisher and rolls his burst D3. He scores 2, doubling his damage. He rolls 6 damage dice and a hit location. 23 damage. This damage is applied to the 7 or torso, reducing Punisher's torso armor to 12. Learn more at GunCraze.net.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, that was interesting. All right, we don't like our fur babies to be hurt, so one of mine is just irritating the other one. As long as it's not an outside, another cat from the area. All right, they're just hanging out in the backyard. It's a thing. Yeah, hopefully you guys have pets, because pets are great. All right. So let's see. Moving on, Disruptive Spray. Whenever you use Suppressive Fire, any enemies attempting to make attack rolls within the selected firing arc suffer -1 talent penalty. Yeah, there you go. All right. Cross use replaces SMG with ranged weapon. I mean, really, it's going to be ranged weapon. So you're like, oh, I'm going to do it with a bow. Well, obviously, you can't do Suppressive Fire, so that would be a waste. So, I mean, do I have to be over-expletive with this and be like, it has to be a ranged weapon capable of automatic fire? I could. I could do that, but the concept, I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to. That's all. All right, so what I'm going to do is, that's basically done. Obviously, the little red text, I'll deal with that as we go. All right, now I'm going to do that improved portion. All right. And now the improved part, it's going to have SMGs 3 as the requirement, and the obviously you're going to need to have Disrupted Spray as well to you know, be able to purchase that next talent. You got to have the predecessor for it because it steps up. All right, now the cost though is increasing. It's increasing to 2 talent points and 4 talent points for that cross use. Now, because it's a step down, I can go ahead and say same as Disruptive Spray. And I can, for this part, as Disruptive Spray, but the talent penalty to what I put in there, any characters, really, any characters rolls increased to -2. All right, so now it's saying, hey, with an SMG. So I have to also make it that it facilitates the cross-use wording replacement. It has, you know, that's kind of part of it. You want to have the cross-use weapon replacement for that. All right, so all right. As a by the talent penalty characters. Suppressive. All right, so the concept, what I'm trying to do now is get the wording right, because even though this is a step up, I have the portion at the bottom that says cross use, and I want to make sure it makes sense. So I actually have to include the word SMG at some point. That's just where that has to come in. So as Disruptive Spray, but the talent penalty to a character's attack rolls are increased to -2 when they attempt a ranged attack within the firing zone. Let's see, this is getting lengthy. And this is supposed to be kind of cheaper and easier. So all right, so what we can do is let's see. Whenever you use Suppressive Fire with an SMG, any characters attempting to make attack rolls when the selected firing arc suffer a -1 penalty to their attack rolls. Okay. And now I just want to get that wording just a little bit the same. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and copy the whole thing and paste it, and then change it. All right, so that way I can say, all right, as disruptive spray, but when you use Suppressive Fire with an SMG, the penalty to is increased to -2. All right, -2 penalty. Plus bonus minus penalty. There's a lot of standardized words I'm trying to really refine and keep within a kind of a way that you speak. All right, you can use examples of like Magic the Gathering. They actually have changed their terminology over time, which is okay, as long as it, it used to be when this card enters the battlefield. Now they say, that's extra text. We'll just say enters. So lately, the new thing is when this card enters, and it's assumed to mean enters the battlefield. All right, so we got that one done. All right, I have the requirements, and now I'm going to copy it again for the mastered version. All right, so disruptive spray. Ooh, see, I want to have that extra space between those because these things can get crowded, and suddenly they'll link into each other, and it causes a big mess, and it's a real pain. So disruptive spray mastered. See, it's at the bottom of the page, so I'm just going to go ahead and enter it up. I notice you see the page is right here in the middle, kind of weird, and it's on. Sometimes the page I'm working on will move around, and I'll deal with that later during final formatting. I mean, I've gotten it a lot of the ways. We're talking about 238 pages of text now, looking at a 300-page rule book, a nice, beautiful rule book full of all different things your characters can do with images and whatnot. So we're really trying to, a lot of images are going to get added to flesh out the way it feels and looks. All right. So let's see here. Moving on. Disruptive spray improved, and we have disruptive spray mastered. Disruptive spray in this case, as we're looking at this, is SMGs 5, and you have to have disruptive spray improved as a prerequisite. The cost for this is 3 talent points and a whopping 6 for that cross use. Later on, you have points. You can spend them on stuff like this. All right, same as disruptive spray. As disruptive spray, when you use the Suppressive Fire of the SMG, the penalty to attack rolls is increased to -3. Like, that's a huge penalty, especially if you're talking about minions, giving everybody in that area -3 to even shoot. Even if they do come out in it. So what is happening? They come out into the Suppressive Fire area. They decide to come out. The first thing you're going to do is attempt to shoot them. That's what the real Suppressive Fire is. It's not just a threat of getting shot in the head. It's just you're actually laying down rounds. So the first thing you're going to do is roll that reaction test against the first guy that pops their head out. If you succeed, then you get to shoot at them. If you fail it, then they get to act and do their turn, and then, all right, you can attempt it with the next character until your next turn, where you can switch off and be like, man, I only made it with like 3 out of 6 of these guys. I'm just going to use regular automatic fire and take out the rest. Okay, so that's kind of one of the things of Suppressive Fire, how it kind of works. All right, there's a lot of playing GunCraze when it's not your turn, and that is a huge benefit, all right, to GunCraze. The whole concept is that even when it's not your turn, you're getting to make those defensive rolls. You're getting to participate usually in that combat of some way, shape, or form. All right. There are a lot of out of turn attacks and abilities that you can use to help you do things and stay alive mostly. Okay. So there we go. That's the last disruptive array. I'll worry about the red letter text later. Red letter text, Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and... I don't like the text on this part. Enemies receive a -1 to all attacks while in suppressive fire area. Enemies receive a -1 to all attacks while in suppressive fire area of an SMG. Okay. I think that's fair. I think that'll work for now. Alright, so all that is done. I'm happy with those three. Are you guys happy with those three? Okay, appreciate you. If not, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Whether it's in here, you go, feel free to drop anything in. Or you can go over, if this is posted on Facebook and you see this, go ahead and throw that, that comment out. I'd like to read it. Alright. This is a community-driven game. I value your guys' concepts. It doesn't mean I'll necessarily shift on things, but if it makes sense enough, then why not? Or if it's something that's maybe I haven't thought of, then why not? Again, the goal is that this is your game. This is our game. We can go anywhere and play with a great set of base core rules that GunCraze kind of the concepts are so simple. Like, oh, this is a big rule book, it's going to take me forever to learn how to play. No, it takes you, actually, the concepts are so easy, you can learn it in minutes. Then some of the nuances take a little bit longer, but that's the same as any game system. Is it completely external to another game like Dungeons & Dragons where you couldn't possibly figure it out? No, a lot of it makes sense. A lot of it is conceptually the same. So your concepts of so let's talk about D&D. I like D&D. I have D&D books. I could pull them all down and show you. Do I think it's the greatest system in the world? No, I don't. Do I think it has a beautiful storyline and background and great chances to have some amazing role playing? Yes, I do. But I find it falls flat in a lot of different areas for me, and that's probably why I'm in game design, is because am I trying to challenge Dungeons & Dragons? Not necessarily. I mean, that's ridiculous. But the concept is that to give somebody a different outlet so they can to see how good things can actually be. All right, and that's really one of the goals. And actually probably the most primary goal of GunCraze, if between me and you, and is to kind of unite humanity under a concept that things won't always be good, and when things get bad, who do you stand with? Who will you stand with? Will you be the person who preys upon weaker people, or will you be the person who stands up and gets a survivor band together and tries to help people and world build and get people back on their feet? There are those out there that will do evil given the chance. When they find out that there's, that the system is down, that the police are not active, the law enforcement doesn't really exist, and then there's you. Who are you going to be? Are you going to just die? Or are you just going to like, I can't get food, so guess what? I guess I'm done. No, that's not the goal. Is you got to think smart. There will be things out there like, we're talking about end of the world scenarios. We're talking about the dark times. That's what GunCraze's chief storyline, the initial storyline, Days of Reckoning, is all about. Is about survival, and a lot of players that I've played it with have turned it into world building because they care. They actually nurtured relationships with people, or came back and said, well, hey, let's go get you those supplies that you need, or let's protect this area from these outsiders. And then there's some people that just want everybody to, hey, let's make a treaty, a little treaty. Hey, you guys don't come and try to kill all of our people, and we won't send our survivor band after you and wipe you off the face of the map. Now that's partially fair, right? Because what you'll find out about the survivor band, the people, basically the party of GunCraze, is that they are action heroes. They are like like stand aside John Wick, okay? Like you could be that guy. So that's one of the exciting things, is to unite people, to be able to leave where you live, and you've played GunCraze at your house or maybe with somebody at your local gaming store, and then, hey, I'm going to be in Kansas City for a week. Well, you should be able to go on to the website at some point. There's no infrastructure for it yet, but look it up and go, okay, well, what survivor bands, what's the command center in, Kansas City? And then you find it, and then you actually just send a message, or you go there and you see whether people are playing. Be like, hey, yeah, I'm here. I have a power level, 29 character. I was wondering if I can get in a game of GunCraze with you guys, hey, as an out-of-towner. Think about it like an episode of a movie where an outsider shows up. And you just walk in and play, and the game allows it because it's seamless. And even if you're about 10 power levels higher or lower, okay, that is a little strong, but you can potentially have still a good game. All right, and that's an important part too. So, moving on. All right, so we got the disruptive spray out of the way. Now we're going to look at enhanced suppression. Okay, so this is another thing that deals with suppressive fire, which is good, considering that SMGs are going to be the thing that kind of drives suppressive fire. We're talking about just boxes of ammo being unloaded at your opponents. Very ammo intensive. I've said that before. I'll say it again. All right, so we're looking at enhanced suppression and extreme suppression. The concept here is it adds to your reaction tests, all right, to attack during suppressive fire with SMGs. And the cross use replaces SMGs with ranged weapons capable of automatic fire. All right, so I don't think I need to I'm going to take that part out because it's kind of silly. I did it already with. Whoa, buddy. We already know they have to have an automatic fire, so excess, Okay, nice. So let's get this enhanced suppression worked up. It does have cross use as well, which is great, right? Anytime you get a cross use ability, means you can spend a little more and use it on other weapons that you have. You may decide to do that or not, depending on. All right, so now we're going from just D's to, we have extended below, so enhanced will fit right between there for this one. Enhanced suppression. You have practiced shifting your fire rapidly to new targets entering your firing zone. All right, fields of fire. I like that better, fields of fire. All right. So the requirement for this is going to be SMGs 4, and it says improve suppression, right? So that comes from up here in ranged combat talents. Improve suppression is a basic talent for everybody. Adds 2 to your reaction test to attack during suppressive fire. All right, but this increases at a further step. So you actually need, so that's actually kind of fun, like that requirement. So basically, your practice is making you even better at getting these attacks off. All right. Cost. The cost for this is going to be 2 talent points, or 4 for the cross use. All right. Pardon me. All right, so as improved suppression, do I want to, kind of, I am jumping to another section. I'm a little hesitant to do this. I could make it satisfy itself right within its zone, and I will. Even though your pre-requirement is improved suppression, when you use Suppressive Fire with an SMG, you gain a +4 to to seize the initiative. I always get that one wrong. It'll always happen. Because I before E except after C and the word seize. Alright? It is a thing. So let's take a moment and kind of look at seizing the initiative. What is even going on here? Holding, improve suppression, suppressive fire. Let's go ahead and take a peek and go down that road for a minute so you guys can kind of understand what is even happening here. So I'm going to go to my search. So I'm not talented enough to just immediately know where something is. It takes me time. All right. I have a general idea, and it helps if you, I guess, spell it right. I see it here at the bottom. All right. Suppressive fire is just like a spray attack, but has the intention of keeping enemies in cover. Any character with a weapon that has an automatic setting may follow the steps below to perform a suppressive fire attack. Choose the firing arc and enhance the attack. The character designates the firing arc in the same method as a spray attack and subsequently enhances the attack. No enemies may be targeted during the attacker's character's turn. The attacking character's turn. The attacker's character turn, sorry. And no character may dive for cover in response to declaring suppressive fire. The character is considered to be in a partial hold. So the guy performing a suppressive fire is in a partial hold. Then, play continues with the next character in initiative line. Seize the initiative. At any player that declared suppressive fire in their previous turn may attempt to seize the initiative, including interrupting the gunmaster's turn to attack. If a player moved during their defending model too quickly, the attacker may back the defender up to a spot where their attacking character could fire at him. So there's no like racing across. You say, whoa, 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 back it up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Now what you do is you make that, so it says, if a player moved their defending model, so you attempt to seize the initiative. That's a reaction roll against the other character. All right. The character gains a reaction bonus equal to the amount the attack was enhanced by to seize the initiative. So you get a bonus. So the character gains a reaction bonus equal to the amount the attack was enhanced when to seize the initiative. Okay. Then you'll make your opposed attack roll. The attacker rolls their attack roll. The defender makes their defense rolls. The attacker and defender increase their results using grace points as usual. All right, there is friendly fire. Allies that are within the firing arc risk being hit with automatic fire from a suppressive fire attack. All right, and all right. Any allied character starting, moving within, or ending their turn within the arc must succeed a defense roll as well, or suffer a hit. As mentioned before, the Gunmaster has ultimate authority if there's a friendly fire risk, and the defense roll needs to be made. So there is that. Okay, just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put this on real quick. Hello, this is Tim Patterson, and we're here today to talk about GunCraze. So what is GunCraze? GunCraze is an action tabletop role-playing system that brings players into intense... All right, sorry about that. My bad. All right, little interruption. Of course, kids, right? So moving on. So you go back into partial hold until the beginning of your next turn, where you could choose to stop doing suppressive fire and whatnot, what have you. So let's see here. All right. Attack rolls. So roll damage. The attacker rolls double the weapon. So that's double the weapon damage dice for targets hit within the weapon's short range. Half that damage rolled, rounding up for all other targets. So you're always going to roll double damage dice when you do this, and cut it in half for anybody outside the short range of that weapon. All right. So that's kind of the concept of how Seize the Initiative works as far as suppressive fire. All right. So we're going to go to holding now, which is an alternate action. All right. This builds. This actually comes first, and it builds on, you know. So let's look at some other systems. You have D&D is a classic one. We use, I don't know the most recent edition's version, but holding or declaring a hold is usually, back when I used to play, you'd have to declare something like, I am holding until this happens, okay? When you decide to jump out and attack, you would do it, like, you know. So but it had to be very specific. You'd be like, I'm gonna hold here and shoot the first person that comes around the corner. So the first person that comes around the corner is an ally, and the dungeon master makes you take a shot at him. Not ideal, okay? Again, GunCraze is about having action heroes. Action heroes tend not to make a lot of mistakes, all right? They do, and characters in GunCraze can very easily die. That being said, at the beginning of a character's turn, a player can declare their character is holding. Players do not have to declare what their characters are holding for. The character is simply waiting for a specific chance to act. They may be waiting for a friendly character to accomplish something or move into a position, or they might be guarding a hallway or covering an area. So you have a hold and a partial hold. A hold, at the beginning of the player's turn, they declare they are holding. This lasts until the character's next turn, in which they may declare they are holding again. Partial hold. After a player makes a slow, normal, or run move, and instead of performing an action or an alternate action, they may execute a partial hold. Any bonuses and penalties incurred by the character's movement remain until the end of the turn in which the character performing the partial hold seized the initiative and completed their attack or alternate action, or at the beginning of their next character turn. All right. When a player decides that their character will jump into the initiative and act, the character must attempt to seize the initiative. This is a direct attempt to interrupt another character's turn. Seizing the initiative may be only attempted at the beginning of another character's turn, at any time during their movement, or upon an attack declaration. So you actually can hold and pop out at any point here. Time's up. If a character has not decided to seize the initiative after an attack declaration, or if the opponent decided to end their turn before the holding character can attempt to seize the initiative, they simply miss their chance against that opponent. When this happens, the holding character must wait until another character's turn to try and seize the initiative. If the character conducting a hold or partial hold does not attempt to seize the initiative before their normal character turn, then they cannot seize the initiative and may choose to hold, move, or conduct a partial hold again. All right. So note, and this is important, after a character's turn is complete, it becomes the next character's turn immediately. To clarify, any time it is not a character's turn, it is always another character's turn. There is no seizing the initiative between turns in an attempt to break the rules stated earlier. Breaking the hold against an opponent. To successfully interrupt an opponent's turn, the character must make an opposed reaction roll against that opponent. If they win the roll, they may execute a full turn or partial turn as described below. So when you're holding, when a character that was holding successfully seizes the initiative, they may complete an entire character turn. They may not choose to hold again during this turn. After the character who seized the initiative has completed their turn, the character who is interrupted may complete their turn. Successful seize during a partial hold. When a character successfully seizes the initiative, if they were conducting a partial hold, they may only attack with one of their attack profiles or perform an alternate action. Okay, so this is GunCraze Miniature Battles kind of lingo, which I need to go back and currency. This is why I got to read it. It's really important to go back. They may perform an action or let's see, they perform an action, a combination action, or an alternate action. Okay, there we go. They may not choose to partial hold again during this turn. After the character who seized the initiative completed their attack or alternate their action, after the character who seized the initiative completed their attack or alternate action, the character who is interrupted may complete their turn. It is important to note that a character that successfully seized the initiative will have their character turn moved to before the character they stole the initiative from, even if they interrupted that character in the middle of their turn. Okay. Failure at initiative order. If a character fails to seize the initiative, the character turn moves to immediately after the character who they attempted to steal the initiative from. They may perform a full turn with no restrictions at that point. So even if you fail, I'm gonna hold action, and you try to jump. All right, you try to seize that initiative and you fail it, you're going next. Your chance to seize the initiative again is not really going to happen, and that's just how that plays out. Seizing the initiative against an ally. A character may attempt to seize the initiative against an allied character. If this happens, the allied character whose turn it is may choose to automatically pass or fail any opposed reaction test to seize the initiative. Well, okay, what does that mean? What are we talking about? So your allied character, friend, like, I'm gonna interrupt him. Well, guess what? He can choose to auto pass or fail that. All right. If a single player has control of both characters, they can still choose to pass or fail as if another player controlled the characters. So sometimes in GunCraze you may have more than one character. All right. And that's just part of the game. You may have a minion or person, another character that comes around with you, which is totally cool. You just got to keep them alive long enough to become heroes themselves. So more than two characters. Let's see. Multiple holding characters may attempt to seize the initiative at the same time. This is done by rolling an initiative against each other as well as the character in which they're attempting to interrupt. This is done just like rolling initiative at the beginning of a combat. The initiative order is changed for these characters, and the character who is interrupted may complete their turn after any character sees the initiative, if any. All right, so that's really going into seizing the initiative. I'm glad we went back and read it. It had a couple typos in there that needed, not typos, but just, again, GunCraze Miniature Battles and GunCraze the role-playing game are two separate games that have the same rules. All right, they have a large portion of the same rules, over 95% easy. So what does that mean? That means that you could just use your GunCraze character and that you've designed using Character Builder and just play GunCraze Miniature Battles with it. Or you can use the character cards from GunCraze Miniature Battles in your games of GunCraze. All right, so how does that even work? Let me just kind of walk you through it. All right, so all the character cards for GunCraze Miniature Battles are online. And I'll just open up this web page here. So we'll go to guncraze.net. All right, you will see the front page here. If you're stopping by here, make sure you click some of these links up above, drop some follows. Really appreciate that. Come over here to the left, and you're going to see GunCraze Miniature Battles. You'll click that. All right, you'll see the rule book for that. That's already available on Amazon. All right. Then below that, you're going to see the character card library. All right. So these are all the different factions of characters that you could pick from. So let's say, oh, I want a robot to fight against my players. So you would go to robot, and sometimes it would actually work when you click on it, which is hilarious and not happy. It's very strange, actually. It's like my links are broke. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. So what we'll do is we'll go backwards and we'll go with neutral. A lot of robots tend to be neutral. So you have your faction rules for GunCraze Miniature Battles. You can choose to use this or not as a gun master for your game. Neutral characters may choose to automatically pass one test per game in lieu of rolling their test. They succeed no matter the required target number or opposed roll result. Any craze points used by an opponent are immediately refunded. After using this ability, the neutral character takes 2d6 stamina or energy damage. Then roll a d6. If the result is 2 or higher, the character regains this ability. However, if they fail rolling a 1, they may not use this ability for the rest of the game. The required roll to regain the ability increases each time they use the ability. For example, the third time a character uses this ability, they must roll a 4 or higher to regain it, and a 3 or less would fail. All right, so that's kind of the rule for neutral characters. It's struggle for survival is what it's called. And now we get into the actual neutral characters. They tend to be robots because robots are very neutral. There's not a lot of evil robots out there. All right. So this is not a robot, but it's still a neutral character. Robot. Let's go to example Punisher. I need a droid that is just going to bring down the players. Here's a power level 15 droid. I could choose to field 3 or 4 of them if I want to be like a harder battle against my players. But this is all the stats for him. So it has his actual attack profile, an actual attack he can make on his turn. It's got extra benefits over here on the side. It's got his armor and vital point layout. All right, so fleshy creatures, humans and whatnot, we have armor and hit points. Robots have armor and vital points. They tend to have more armor because some of their actual construction is metal, and they have less what would be vital points or hit points because once you get through the outer skin, those parts on the inside are very delicate, where humans actually have some sturdiness built into us. So that is not in all cases, of course, but in many. All right. Robots also don't deal with stamina damage. They will lose energy instead. Like say if they decided to sprint, they could run out of energy that way. So you can look through all these different characters that are in here, rail shot, slasher, all right, and get a kind of an idea of how that works. All right. Let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that down for now. Go back to all the way up to SMGs. And I don't want to do it here, do I? Yeah, sure. We'll do it up here. Actually, let's stop and take a look at our SMGs. Why not? I'm all about this. It's a good time to stop by and actually work at the weapons you've been working on. See how things go, all right? So we have a different type of SMGs. We have the mini submachine gun, all right? It has damage is 1d6, reloads 30 rounds, light handgun ammo. It only weighs 3 pounds. All right, its concealment modifier is very easy. Okay, it is a hybrid handgun, so if you have you can use it handgun rules with it as well. Not at the same time, but independently. Then we have your light submachine gun. All right, your heavy submachine gun, your personal defense weapon, laser SMG, light laser SMG. All right, just to show you that automatic rating for this, auto 10. All right, these things can drop a lot of ammunition very quick. All right, laser SMG heavy, auto 10 as well. Okay, so that's your SMGs that you can play within GunCraze. All right, not a huge selection, but enough to get the job done. All right, you have a couple. One of my newer characters, Celine, has 2 mini SMGs on her. Keeps her light and fast, and when she needs to unload boxes of ammo and spray a room, that's what she does. Okay. So those are the different types of SMGs. We're going to go ahead and go back to our portion here. All right, so we're doing enhanced suppression is where we're at. And the concept here is, it's almost done really. SMGs 4, improved suppression, okay. So it takes a while to get to SMGs 4. That is way up there. Now the next one is going to be Extreme, EXTR, which is going to go after Extended Burst. All right, you know, alphabetical order isn't always happy, but it is what it is. It is order, not chaos. All right, so Extreme Suppression is going to be the next up. As So what I'm doing is just filling in and getting everything updated with Extreme, SMG 6. Cross use is what? Sorry, that's spending the points. I got it backwards. So it's going to be 3 and 6. Okay. SMGs, again, required for this is SMG 6, which is pretty stinking high. And you're going to have enhanced suppression to even buy this. And the bonus is going to be huge. It's going to be a +6. So that even adds into all of your other reaction bonuses that you're going to have to do to seize the initiative and get those attacks in. All right. So, moving on from there. Look at this text a little bit. Get rid of this automatic fire thing because it's kind of obvious. Turn all this black. All right. So we're talking about extended burst, which is already in here. And now we have one called barrel melter. So this right here is, hey, what's going on? What's up, Tony Says? How's your day going? I like it. I like it. Let's see if I can get these things to work. There we go. All right. Hey, Tony, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop it in the chat. No problems. All right. So, moving on. All right, so just what I've go ahead and got this part knocked out. And now I'm going to get this one. So I'm calling it barrel melter. I don't know if that's the best. I think the concept is that you are really dumping rounds through this. Just had a nap, but PlayStation servers are down, so I can't stream. Oh no, PlayStation servers all over the map are down, or I mean that's pretty blatant. What do you usually run? Yeah, so yeah, that I heard. The funny thing is a lot of I also play New World of Tournament, and people today were saying, "Oh, worldwide outage." Do we know if it was like an attack or something, or are they just downing the servers for some randomness? I am outside of the loop on this one. I'm very curious. Fortnite player. All right, all right. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. So, Tony, have you ever played a pen and paper role-playing game before? Worldwide outage. That's crazy. I mean, you know, when you think about things that like infrastructure, you know, you always have like game specific servers going down, you know, usually on a Tuesday to update or make a change. Usually not just a massive worldwide outage. I mean, that is wild. So, that being said, all right. So we'll go ahead and call it this for now. It may change the name of it, and that's fine. The concept is there. Let me think. So the concept of extended burst is that you're holding the trigger down longer than you should, which is causing your damage to go up. To squeeze the trigger and just hold it down for the whole 2 seconds, an SMG can let out a lot of ammunition, and therefore the concept would be using 3 times rounds for a burst attack. All right, so that is a lot of rounds, and barrel melter may send the wrong message. So let me come up with a better name real quick than that. We'll call it. All right, it'll come to me. Need a name that exudes dumping a lot of ammo onto an enemy. All right. Oh, I like it. We'll do insane burst. That sounds fun. All right. Yeah, insane burst. All right, so that is a lot of ammunition that you're trying to lay down. Hey, if you're joining us right now as a viewer, drop a message, say hey, glad to see you. Hope you come in, ask questions. Right now we're going over GunCraze, which is a tabletop role-playing game that's still in development. it is a community-driven game, so your concepts and thoughts are always, I really do cherish those kind of things. I think they're great. So if there's something that you want to know if it exists in the game, or you want me to go over a rule and see how it plays, I don't mind to jump in and explain it. So just in the chat, just ask the question. I'll get to it as soon as I notice it, and then I will, run it to ground for you and see if you're satisfied or not. Just because you may not be satisfied with everything, but I aim to please. So if there's something that can fit into the game that you're excited about, then I would like to do that. And if it is a good enough idea, I would like to use an example for that idea based on your character, as long as it doesn't have like a name issue with other characters that are, copyright. I can add it in, and and you can have basically put your little minor footprint in this game. It's gonna come out. It's gonna be released. It's just whether your information is in there or not. Not trying to stress you or bribe you or not. I hope it is. I hope you do give me some good ideas, especially when we get into skills, which will be coming up in the next month after talents are done. We're going to be leaning heavily into skills, and there are a lot of skills, and there's a lot they do. And you guys have jobs that I've never heard of before, and your skills, you have independent skills that I just don't understand. So it'd be nice to hear your take on that. So that being said, I'm going to move down, and I'm going to take that extended burst. I'm not going to grab the flavor text here. That's a little long. And I'm going to go ahead and drop, it's an I, so I can put it all the way at the end here. And we're going to call it Insane Burst. All right. So here we go. Obviously, I'll fix the text offline, make it better. Usually, I like to spend a little bit of time on the flavor text. It's all about English and me not being great at it, but we'll get there. All right, so Insane Burst is going to be SMGs 5. All right, so there's SMGs 5, and it's going to have Extended Burst as the prerequisites. The cost for it is going to be 4 talent points, which is huge. All right. It's important to note that Insane Burst or Extended Burst do not use cross use. These are SMG specific. Okay. So combo talents, double tap, control burst, sure. Put that with an asterisk. Asterisk means all the different control bursts. Okay. And 2-weapon fighting. All right, so now you're increasing your damage. You're going to increase a lot more control bursts between all this. Your damage for SMGs is really ramping up, but the amount of ammunition that you're dispensing is insane. So in a game with controlled ammunition, SMGs, by saving up enough, you'll be able to dispense some serious damage onto a target or several targets, but you have to be very careful about the amount of ammo that you're using. Make sure you're spending a lot of time collecting up enemy ammunition, trying to get your numbers up. Okay. So let's see here. What is extended burst? Anytime when you do a burst attack, if the SMG you're using has an auto rating of 5 or higher, you may use 6 rounds instead of 3. If you do, add 1 additional damage dice to the damage roll. So that means you're gaining an extra damage dice. That's pretty big. Now we're going to go for Insane Burst, which is going to require a little more, and it's going to add even. So let's take a look again back at SMGs. We were over there a minute ago. All right. So we have Auto 6, Auto 6, Auto 6, Auto 6, Auto 10, and Auto 10. So all the SMGs have Auto 6, which is great. Okay. So at any time we do a burst attack, if the SMG you're using has an automatic rating of 5, all right, so I'm going to take this whole chunk out because I'm not even a fan of it anymore.
At any time when you do a burst attack, you may use 6 rounds instead of 3. If you do, roll 1 additional damage dice to the roll. All right, so that's kind of the text for the first one. That's how I want it to be. Now I'm going to go and even go beyond that, all right? At any time when you do a burst attack, you may use 9 rounds. All right, so we're going to put as extended burst, but you may use 9 rounds instead of 6. If you do, roll 2 additional damage dice, add 2 additional damage dice to the damage roll. All right, that'll work. That is a lot of ammo, 4 talent points. It's a good cost. All right, we'll make it black. All right. So that is a big deal. That's a lot of damage. And now we're going to get even to more damage with mow down. All right, we know what mowing somebody down is. That is not where you want to be. You do not want to be the guy that just got mowed down. Okay. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and look at what we have over here. Automatic burst hits within point blank range. Auto roll 3 on the burst dice. That means when you roll your burst dice, you're always getting ×3 damage. That's great. That is a great amount of damage, all right, for mow down. Okay. Replaces SMGs with ranged weapons capable of burst attack. All right, so capable of burst attack, I'm going to take that off because it's extra text I don't need. All right. So mow down is its own ability, and I'll go ahead and copy Insane Burst. Whoa, buddy. Copy. Let's not lose the work. A little jumpy there. All right. So now we're going to talk about mow down. All right. So I mean, so point blank range is within 10 feet. I mean, if you go to shoot somebody within 10 feet, you get all kinds of benefits. That is a really deadly area to have a gun in, and that is just it's just not great. That is not where you want to be ever. Okay. All right. So let's see. Mow down. All right. Requirements are going to be SMG 6. So I made this a high requirement, and mow down it is expensive. All right. So 4 talent points for ranged combat. Let's see where we're going to go here. Mow down. Right now it's 3. And now it uses the cross point here. So I'll steal 1 from extreme suppression. Bring that down. Because it's 3/6. That's what it does. All right. Combo talents. Well, this uses an automatic burst, right? So double tap works. Control burst to a fighting, sure. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can use on this. At this point, the amount of damage that you're going to dispense on somebody at point blank range is going to leave them almost like a stain on the ground. Like you're not going to be able to recognize them. You will be out of ammo, probably, if you keep using all these talents together. All right. So we're going to go ahead and steal. All right. Whenever you roll an automatic burst attack within point blank range of a target, do not roll the when you perform a burst attack with an SMG within point blank range of a target, do not roll the burst dice. The burst dice is considered to be 3 in every case. All right, so let's take a look at automatic burst to make sure that we have rule clarity between all these things. So we're going to head back over to automatic burst, which is under automatic attacks. All right. There we go. Here we go. Attacking, defending, shooting, automatic fire, automatic burst. Okay. Sometimes a character with automatic weapon can, we already talked about this a couple days ago, but I'll read it again, cannot attack with a focus fire or spray attack, usually due to movement. And that is where automatic burst comes in. And automatic burst is a burst attack that represents a short burst from an automatic weapon. All right, instead of 3 rounds, automatic burst uses 5 rounds, allows a reroll of the burst dice. All right, and it allows damage dice rolls of 1 to be rerolled. All right, like burst attacks, characters with double tap talent may attack twice with this mode of attack. Okay, so now we got that portion. We need to go back and we need to look at burst attacks now, right? So we go to burst attacks. All right. So if a weapon with a burst range special rule may fire a burst attack, in real life, burst may be any number of different bullets, but for ease of play, 3 bullets are always used. All right. Advantage dice not multiplied. Let's see here. If the attack connects, a burst roll is initiated. This simulates the variability of spread of burst fire, with a D3 determining the number of rounds that successfully strike the target. All right. So you don't have to roll that. It's automatically going to be a 3 if you're within point blank range. That is going to melt somebody very close to you. Okay. Well, whenever you roll an automatic burst attack with an SMG within point blank range of a target, do not roll the burst dice. The burst dice is considered to be a 3. All right, now we have the cross use section. I need to do the bold to show the thing that's going to change. And I will steal this because plagiarism is the best form of flattery. That's a joke. All right, replaces SMG with ranged weapon. There we go. Okay, so now we're getting into a wide spray. This should exist already. Be shocked if it doesn't. Oh, a spray and pray does. Yay, that's one. Wide spray. Wide spray, arc spray, and spray and pray. The concept here is increasing the range where you would select your firing arc. All right. Off the bat, it's 45 degrees. With wide spray, it becomes 90 degrees. With arc spray, it becomes 180 degrees. And with spray and pray, you can max that out all the way to 360. All right. Now the last one does not have a cross use. It stays firmly within the realm of SMGs only. Again, to show the superiority of the SMG's way of walking into a room, emptying boxes of ammunition, and then circling back around. Okay. So that being said, all right, we're gonna go ahead and steal that one. Tracking, spray and pray. We'll steal spray and pray and bring that up. And these kind of build off of that. So Control X for spray and pray. Gonna go up to SMGs. And spray and pray is at the end. It'll get pasted in here. It may not be right at the moment, but we'll get it right. SMGs can load many rounds in a very short time. You have trained this effect able to twist your body quickly and engage numerous targets with your SMG. Alright, so this one has it as SMGs 1, but it's not. So it says SMG 6. No parentheses. Alright, or no apostrophe. Alright. The cost is going to be 4 talent points, ranged combat. Alright. Same as wide spray. Let's see here. So this is all wrong. I'm going to go ahead and delete all that. And I'm going to go ahead and make the other two. Actually, let me make it using this. Let's see here. So extended burst. Nope. Okay. Spray and pray. I'll just steal this then. And now we need to make wide spray, arc spray, and spray and pray. So wide spray, wide spray will be right here. And we'll highlight this red for better text later. SMG for wide spray is 2. Cost is only going to be 2. But it's going to be 2... Alright, and then 4 for your cross-use talents, because usually, like I said, it's going to cost double, because they're going to be harder to access that training. Alright, combo talents, so we'll list that separately. Keep that in there. All right, big stretch time. Let's go. Oh, I hope that this is one of those contagious stretches. I hope right now you just yawned and stretched yourself, because we all need it, and it's good for you. All right. So that being said, I'm gonna something real quick. Checking some business out. Okay. Okay. So, We're going to do wide spray, and we're going to get arc spray. Arc spray will go up top. Actually, let's write wide spray while I'm here. All right. Let's see here. Due to the due to the lightweight construction of SMGs, you can easily increase firing arc for spray attack. When firing automatic fire. So leave that in there for now. I'm okay with that. Wide spray, 2 CPs or 2 requirement with 2-4. We got that. Combo talents, not going to fill those out yet until I get to the end. Details. When attacking using the spray attack, when attacking using a spray attack, you may select up to 90 degrees when attacking using a spray attack, you may select up to 90 degree arc. You may select up to a 90 degree firing arc. Okay. Let's go to that cross use section. When attacking with an SMG, when attacking with the SMG using a spray attack, you may select up to a 90 degree firing arc. Okay. Control C. Okay. Now we're going to go do arc spray, which is the next level one. I'm going to do it here. Change it to arc. All right. As wide spray. All right. That being said, let's see something. I got something for you. All right. All right, here we go. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to leave something for you to watch here for a second. Let's see if this works.
Hello, today we're going to be talking about GunCraze character creation, specifically focusing on specializations. There are 5 specializations in GunCraze: ranged combat,
melee combat, body, quickness, and non-combat. Ranged combat consists of attacking with firearms, throwing weapons, grenades, or any other type of attack which is made from a distance. In the GunCraze universe, anybody may be armed with a deadly firearm. As the saying goes, whoever has the skill makes the kill. Ranged combat is broken down to 6 attributes: handguns, submachine guns, rifles, shotguns, sniper rifles, and support weapons. Support weapons include light machine guns, missile launchers, and flamethrowers. Melee combat is using your hands, feet, head, or melee weapon to strike your target. Sometimes it may not be useful to fire a gun, or you may be denied the chance to use one altogether. When this happens, your melee skills will be tested. Melee combat is broken down into 4 attributes: unarmed, slashing, stabbing, and crushing. Next, we have the body specialization. Strength, toughness, and endurance are all attributed to a well-developed body. Strong characters can lift more and do more damage than average characters. Tough characters can take damage and stay in the fight. Characters with a lot of endurance can keep going, even when challenged with grueling conditions. Body represents a character's physical stature and is broken into 3 attributes: strength, endurance, and toughness. Quickness is moving or functioning rapidly, and this helps when trying not to get hit by an attack. Quick characters are often not slowed down by difficult terrain and can be fast enough to attack more than once in a turn. Quick characters also have quick reaction times, and they can often act before other characters that aren't so fast. Jackie Chan would definitely be a character with high quickness. Quickness represents a character's reflexes and agility and is broken down into 3 attributes: reaction, speed, and stunt. As all other specializations deal with combat, non-combat attributes are provided to handle the role-playing aspect of GunCraze. They are intelligence, wisdom, and presence. Characters that have high non-combat specialization scores are characters that provide an extra edge to any campaign. They are smarter, wiser, or more charismatic than other characters. These characters provide for interesting role-playing between all the action. Additionally, certain non-combat specialization scores unlock access to certain jobs. Jobs benefit skills, and will be explained in a later video. In GunCraze, we generate our specialization scores by rolling 5d6s and adding up the total of the dice. If the total is less than 16, we can start over by re-rolling the dice again. If the total is greater than 20, we have to change one of the dice that rolled higher than a 3 to a 1. We record these scores on a scratch piece of paper or on the side of our character sheet. The total of all these rolls is our character's power level. A starting character will therefore be at least power level 16. When the Gunmaster determines a power level increase, you would get to raise one of your specialization scores by 1, which causes several things to happen, which will be explained in a later video. So now we are going to place one of those generated specialization scores into each one of our specializations, and move on to choosing perks and assigning attribute scores within each specialization. But those will be explained in a future video.
GunCraze is currently in an alpha testing, meaning it's still in development. You can support GunCraze directly by subscribing to our Patreon. For $3 a month, you'll get access to every document that is produced in PDF format. As soon as it's released, you get it. But thank you for your time, and help us fund GunCraze.
All right. Just want to drop that video off real quick and kind of explain how specialization scores work. Hopefully you find that interesting and informative. All right. So arc spray. Oh, we did wide spray. Now arc spray, we've copied it and we've changed it to this. I can go ahead and I'll turn that red because I'm going to shift it later. All right. And Okay, so that's basically the text for that. What I'm going to do is just kind of come down here to spray and pray. Same as wide spray. That's what it should be. Same as wide spray. All right. I'm going to turn this text red as well. Mow down needs to come down. Ooh, let's see what's going on here. 4 in that row. This one goes down. Okay, mode can come up. Spray and pray. Now this is not cross. Our requirement and arc spray. And arc spray has a requirement of wide spray. Make sure I have, oh, I do have those. Okay. All right, so just trying to make it a little even here. Okay, let that one off, back this one up. All right, so we pretty much finished that last portion there. We have that all set in. I'll go back and fix that red text at another point. All right. So next thing we're going to work on, now that we've finished, the SMG talents, we're going to finally be able to move into our range combat talents, rifle talents. Now, as you can see here, there's only 3, and that's not going to be enough. So over the next night or so, I'm going to come up with several others. I'm going to go ahead and move these into their spots, at least get them kind of ready, so I can get them pre-positioned. So I'm going to go ahead and come down. I'm going to find each one of these and move it to where it needs to be. So breach training is a shotguns 1. So I'm going to go ahead and move that one. Move it to shotguns. Okay. Grab the next one on the list here. I have Fear of God, which is another one. Fear of God is a support weapon talent. So is Flamethrower Specialist. And Grenade Launcher Specialist. So we're going to steal all of those. Put them here. Alright, we got Hurl Weapon. We've already placed Hurl Weapon. This is a copy of it. So I'm going to kill off Hurl Weapon here. Improved Emplacement is for snipers. Alright, and an Improvised Sniper Rifle. Both of those are sniper talents. Remember, if you have a question, feel free to just throw it in. Just ask it. Can't hurt nobody. All right. Got to recap off my my caffeine. I've been up since too early this morning. Everybody knows about the Joe. You get it how you get it, right? So, that being said, all right. Gonna go down and grab the next one here that's floating around, Juggernaut. Juggernaut should be a support weapon. It is perfect. All right. So I'm gonna move that one to support weapons after this one. All right. All right, moving down. I got knockback blast. That is that comes from shotguns. I'll move that in the shotgun area. So shotguns, the concept about shotguns is like utility, right? It's like being utility mage. You got something, you got a round that'll sit in that shotgun for everything. All right. You know, open a door, you know, melt an engine block. You have a round for it. All right. So long shot, that's about rifles. Okay. So that's your again, our rifles section is really limited, and that's where we're going to aim to blow it up. We're gonna break it out. Rifles are really decent by themselves. I mean, they already have a lot of benefits to rifles because of their damage and their range. So it's going to be interesting coming up with some really cool rifle things that keep them potent with what they do. All right, rifles are not about automatic fire. They can do automatic fire, but they're really not about it. What they are about is those reach out and tap you aim shots, regular, just average shots, basic shots to just hit hard. So we'll see how that goes when we get into it. So we got Mr. Specialist. That is obviously support equipment. All right. Oh, backspace there, buddy. All right. We've got one shot, one kill, one shot. All right. So sniper rifles. If you're a sniper, man, GunCraze is your game. You'll like this. Snipers are lots of fun. Am I biased? Yeah. Yeah, I am biased. I love snipers. It's like you get to play a different way. You get to play a game in a different way than other players get to play. All right, so that is always a fun part about being a sniper. So, skeet shooter, all right. Special ammo training, those are shotgun. Okay. All right, moving on. We got rapid fire, that's rifle. So what I'm going to do is place that in the rifle. All right. So now we got that. We got Rolling Thunder, which is our support weapons. Got to be able to roll around and crush people, you know what I'm saying? All right. Surgical precision, take the shot, tracking all the way to here is all sniper. All right. We've already done 2-weapon fighting, already moved it. so I'm going to kill that off. And we have Ultimate Sniper. I'll let you get the guess. And we'll put that into snipers. All right. So now I'm just going to dress it up a little bit so it doesn't look too crazy. It's rapid fire. Shotgun talents. We'll go ahead and where you at? Pardon. All right, knockback blast, skeet shooter, special ammo training, sniper talents, improved enhancement, improvised sniper rifle, 1 kill, 1 shot. Hey, look, I was gonna do 1 shot, 1 kill because we know that's how the statement goes, but guess what? Alphabetical order. Leave it up for something like alphabetical order to ruin it for everybody. All right. So support talents, Fear of God, Flamethrower Specialist, Grenade Launcher Specialist, Juggernaut, Missile Launcher Specialist, Rolling Thunder, and then our exotic talents, which I have none, but they are in my brain popping around and see how we make exotic weapons feel fun too by adding some talents. So we got it's the 8th. We're going to basically be pushing talents pretty heavy during the whole month of February. I have until my self goal is in my head is the end of March to finish talents. Talents are a very important part of GunCraze. They give you a lot of your abilities. All right, so that's really kind of core. All right. That being said, let's see if I can find something real quick. Let's see real quick. I'm always trying to find, I have to go through all my older videos. There's a lot of different videos that I've made over time. Let's see real quick. Some videos, I could have done, well, I couldn't have done better, honestly. It's one of those, you know, as you go to build videos, it just becomes challenging. Time consuming, it's a time sink, and then you gotta be a little critical about what you make. All right. So that being said, what I'll do is, I got about 10 or 11 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and spend that time. I'm going to show off some Wartop because it's, I think it's fun to do. So let me go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and shut off my ugly mug and the top ribbon. And what I'm going to do is get Wartop up on this main screen. So Wartop is a virtual tabletop simulator made by Two Beards Games. It is a beautiful tabletop simulator with lots of features. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do is bring up my loaded game again. So this is the virtual tabletop. There was a couple things I wanted to try out today to make sure that they worked or not. So tools, so terrain is locked now. Wanted to make sure that that was effective because I was moving around and knocking terrain, and I texted the guy. I was like, hey, you know, guy, wonderful people over there. They will get back to you. Have any issues? I'm like, did you hit the lock button? I was like, not so much. Let me find it. So, yeah, I was having. Oh, so there we go. All right, so terrain is movable. Very cool. I just want to know. These are the kind of things, like I said, they're awesome about. So you just let them know, and yep. I mean, this is a really fat clown. So speaking of which, we had a little fight the other day between these two characters. What we're going to do now is set him aside. Set his token aside. All right, so these may not be a big deal to you, but these tokens here help you run the game. I actually got to design these on Blender. Pretty happy about that. I mean, you may not be a big deal to you. I'm not like Papsicles. Like, look at that Papsicles miniature. I mean, look how beautiful. This is what you get when you get 3D models from Papsicles. Whether you're a 3D printer or you come and buy Wartop and play Wartop, you get, look, I mean, just look how glorious that workmanship is. That's great. I mean, look at that evil guy. There's Cal P behind here. Cal Roo, sorry. And so there's a lot of things you can do in here, but I am glad that that we found out that the terrain can get bumped into by miniatures, because that's not really the goal. All right, so I'll spit that off to him and let him know. But regardless, you know, if you're careful, oh, you know, at any point you can, you know, just load your game back again. And then even so, you can, let's see here, measuring, map select. So let's see, saved maps. All right, so as I had saved these maps, same one over and over. I got a little happy with the save button apparently. All right, all the tokens that you can find, you can hit the you hit the 2 key, and it has like anything from bleed. All right, so if you want to, you know, use a bleed token, you can have somebody, you know, bleeding. You have, you know, you're going to use the shield other. You can shield. If you drop it on the icon, it kind of like it issues it to him so that it follows him around. All right. So now that guy has a bleed token. So, you know, there's a lot going on for GunCraze that makes it just a glorious tabletop simulator. All right. One of the other cool features, let's say that you just wanted to, as far as your miniatures, you can change the color of the map. All right. Or change the color of each side. You wouldn't do it like I just did it. You would take your time and do it slowly. But that being said, when you go to spawn models, and this is why there's such a great concept for just a tabletop RPG, out of all these different things, like, oh, here's some miniatures, all right, that you can potentially spawn your collection, depending on how many resource packs you buy, and even use these guys in a role playing scenario with some friends where they're hunting your characters. All right, so that's a very cool kind of outlook for Wartop, is that all the packs you buy are can be used independently of each other. All right, so you have another experience. So I always think that's pretty exciting, pretty cool thing to try out. I just want to show off a little bit of Wartop here. Remember, when you get Wartop, it's roughly 12-ish bucks. It comes with GunCraze Miniature Battles free. It comes with that game in there, built in. All right, so there's lots of rules in there for you to use. And that being said, I am excited that you guys came today and spent some time. I'm going to go ahead and close it up here in a moment. But if you guys, let me see if I can find one more video before we launch out of here. All right. Well, let's see here. Always a good video to close up the day. Let's see. All right. Videos. All right. Let's see here. We've done this one. Let's do a random stuff we have in this.
By the year 2050, incredible technological progress marked the dawn of a new era. With a unified digital currency, the barriers of the old world vanished. Everything electronic was linked through the Internet of Things, and robots had become seamlessly integrated into society. The widespread use of powerful augmented reality and sophisticated artificial intelligence aided people in all aspects of daily life. Without warning, the Internet and all connected devices are instantly destroyed by the most powerful virus ever conceived. The world comes to a standstill, and survival becomes a perilous pursuit in this hostile new reality, where strength and skill are essential for survival. Do you have what it takes to survive? Step into the thrilling world of GunCraze, an exhilarating adventure where your journey begins with limitless possibilities. Learn more about GunCraze at guncraze.net.
Y'all take care and have a good one.
2050